Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we have a very fun slash special slash crazy slash really chaotic career simulation with our guy Kenny Pickett. Not Kenny Pickett, I'm wrong. It is George Pickens. I saw the rookie QB1 and I was like, ah, crap. But yeah, it's actually George Pickens, who is a absolute certified monster in real life. Actually only 21 years old, rookie out of Georgia. Yeah, Georgia. I had to make sure I wasn't, messing up. 90 speed, 93 excel, 86 catching, and his spec catch at 92 is just fine. His spec catch is crazy in real life, anyways, because he can go up and snag that thing from just about anywhere. Routes could definitely use some developing, but at 79 overall, star development. We do like to see that, but we also like to see him get up to probably an 85 plus superstar X Factor at some point in his career. And yeah, I mean, I think that's possible. I think that that is somewhat a thing. And you got a pretty good defense to back your team, anyways. It's not great, but you got a pretty good one. Offensive line could obviously be a lot better. These guys here at tight end, Pat Fryermuth's the only bright spot, really. Steven Sims I actually like a lot in real life. Miles Boykin will play over him. I'm going to say no. I like Steven Sims probably a little bit more than that. Anthony Miller also here. So, yeah, we got a lot to look at and a lot to stay and pay attention to over the time that we are here. Opening day keys, rookie QB1. So, we've got quite a few things going on. But let's go to midseason, see how this first season goes for Kenny Pickett and kind of look at his production. And I guess defense doesn't win championships. 87 overall defense has carried them to 1-6. That is not good. Kenny Pickett throwing the ball fine, not great, but fine. And then receiving wise, George Pickens at 369 here. I've got to make sure he's in the slot, actually. That's probably what I should do, is make sure that he's in the slot as well. Completely blanked on that. But I'll make sure that he's in the slot and we can go look at, see if this team can turn their season around. Maybe make the playoffs. Very unlikely. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get a pretty good pick in the draft. 5-12, but we didn't make the playoffs. We'll go ahead and see what this team did on the during the offseason. Obviously, they have the draft, free agency, and all that good stuff. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this team kind of transforms over the years, and if George Pickens even elects to stay here. I'm not sure if it's likely or unlikely, but offensive linemen are developing. You brought in this guy right here, Evans. Jimmy Garoppolo's the new quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Najee, George Pickens progressed all right, not great, but all right. And we'll put him to the wide receiver one spot. Just put him in the best place to really develop, and having him at the in the slot actually works pretty well as well. Defensively, still look good, I guess. I mean, nothing really fell off incredibly much. Like, it's not a big notice like point where someone's like really missing. Like, you didn't lose TJ Watt or Cam Hayward or Miles Jack. You're kind of just keeping it in reach, which is fine. I like it. But yeah, let's go to the next, or I guess next point would be midseason. So let's go to the midseason and see what sort of numbers George Pickens picks up. I forgot to check last season's numbers, actually. So I will go back to adjust lineup, go to George Pickens, and look at his career stats, and it should give me it for his rookie year after it was all said and done. Stats and contracts. Stats. Wow. Very underwhelming, 774. But with Jimmy Garoppolo throwing the ball now, might see him get a little bit more involved. Yeah, I mean, nothing really there to show for. We'll see you guys at midseason. There's a plenty of good news around the whole situation right now. We're 3-3, which is good. Browns are 6-1. Gonna be hard to catch. We have a breakout wide receiver, and we'll see his stats now. We'll open up the wide receiver breakout thing in just a minute. But receiving wise, yeah, George Pickens well on his way to 1,000 yards. I'd say 32 catches, 464 yards, 4 touchdowns, leads the team. Rushing, how's Najee doing? 5 per carry. I wish he was doing that good in real life. And Jimmy Garoppolo's kind of throwing that thing. He's not doing all that great, but he's throwing it. So I guess he's doing well in that aspect. We'll look and see. Breakout wide receiver. We'll see if it is George Pickens. I hope it is, because that'd be awesome to see. Keep throwing it my way. And yeah, George Pickens, 150. It's very unlikely. But yeah, I guess we'll see if he can get it done. No, George Pickens did not get it done. And we'll go to the playoffs and see how we can do how we stack up against our division. Because if the Browns keep winning, we're going to be screwed. And we lost our last one, so that puts us at the bottom of the division. We'll look at the final stats for the season. Jimmy Garoppolo went for 4,000 yards, only 17 touchdowns. Not good. 1,100 yards to George Pickens, though. That's pretty good. 7 touchdowns as well is good. It's a majority um, of Jimmy Garoppolo's, anyways. But, yeah, I mean, wow, I just saw tackles for loss of 23. I'm guessing that's Cam Hayward or TJ Watt. Either of them would work, but I guess on to next season. I hate to say it, but this squad really isn't much of a squad. Only an 81 overall. George Pickens obviously still going to be here. And we're going to have to go ahead. I'll just put him at wide receiver 1 again. He should already be in the slot. He is. So, yeah, I mean, Kenny Pickett's here again, I guess. No more whatever. And you got a 78 overall running back. 23 years old. Guy looks crazy. He looks really good. That should be interesting to watch as the RB2. Is he good at anything? Not really. He's not better than Najee at anything, but maybe when Najee decides to move on, we'll have a back or a good running back. But I mean, jeez, yeah, this team is not looking all that great. I don't expect to do anything crazy. And we'll see how Kenny Pickett can throw that ball because George Pickens is going to need some stats if he's ever going to go up in dev trait. He's already gone up in overall quite a bit. Started out at 79, remember that. And at midseason, Kenny Pickett has 1,600 yards, 8 interceptions, not that great. Also 12 touchdowns. Rushing, Najee's doing well, but receiving, George Pickens is on pace for a big season. Doesn't quite lead the league or lead the team in touchdowns, and Deontay Johnson is not being used. What's up with that? Wow, that is rough to watch. But George Pickens, 44 catches, 699 yards, 116 per game is crazy with 4 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, he's doing his thing right now, and we're going to see how he can end off the season. Maybe this Pickett to Pickens can light up and maybe make the playoffs, make a run at it, possibly. Doubt it, but maybe. No playoffs were made. We actually finished 5-12. It's not great, not good at all. Kenny Pickett actually didn't have a bad season other than the 24 interceptions, but maybe if he put up 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, maybe I'd see him starting, but I just don't think that there's a way. George Pickens, huge season, by the way. And, yeah, I'm not sure what's up with Deontay Johnson, but, yeah, George Pickens, 1,500 yards on 100 catches, average 92 per game, 11 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, he's an absolute stud right now. I would be surprised if he didn't go up in development trait. But we'll go to next season, and it'll be his final season on his rookie contract, if I'm not mistaken. And I think we're at that point where we don't need to go to the midseason every season. It's just getting old. It's getting boring. Might as well just go to the playoffs. We don't learn much from the first half anyways. It's kind of just set in stones. But yeah, George Pickens! Look at that right there. Now a higher overall than Deontay Johnson. And Calvin Austin actually coming along as well. But yeah, George Pickens. Love to see that. He better be in the slot still. He is. Alex Highsmith even went up. So we've got a lot of good things going right now. Defensively, what do we got? Nothing great. Finally upgraded an interior, though. And then this guy right here. I mean, corners are a liability for sure. I'm going to put this guy up one. But yeah, corner's a big liability right now. So we brought in Davis Mills. Not much of an upgrade over Kenny Pickett, but we'll see what he can do. Throwing the ball to George Pickens, Deontay Johnson. He has Pat Freiermuth. All great weapons. And that running back actually ended up being a superstar X Factor. So, well, let's see how this ages. Actually, it might be our best season so far. 7-10. Maybe Davis Mills leads us to the promised land here in the future. I doubt it. But 4,200 yards, 23 touchdowns. Very similar to the season last year we saw from Kenny Pickett, except 9 interceptions is significantly less. Najee still getting involved, and then George Pickens over 1,000 again. We'll see how many seasons he can go over 1,000 in a row, because I think it's possible for him to go for a while. Looking at his player card here is an 87 overall superstar. It's expected. He's been crazy so far, and I mean, his ceiling is really nowhere. Only 24 years old still. I will look at his contract, though, because that will be interesting. He did re-sign, so he's re-signed this year. 4 years remaining, making, I mean, basically nothing. Oh my God! If I could sign George Pickens for that, like, less, for that much money, like, that's not much at all. He could have signed that a while ago. I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep eyes on that, and I guess keep it moving. So forget everything I've said about everyone. This team is an 85 overall now. Did we upgrade at quarterback? We're still rocking with Davis Mills. We're rocking with Davis Mills. A 74 overall, by the way. Um, that guy's a tight end. I was like, did we? Okay, well, they like tight end a little bit. George Pickens up to an 88 overall. Got a few guys. Nelson Aguilar's here now. Not a bad wide receiver 3. Obviously, definitely could have better. Yeah, I mean, this team doesn't look horrible. Doesn't look great either, though. I'm gonna put that guy at corner 1, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, this team's not in shambles exactly, but we can definitely use a good season now. We can definitely achieve a good season now as well. So we're gonna see what this Pittsburgh Steelers team can do with Davis Mills and George Pickens. I don't feel like we're an 87 overall offense and an 88 overall defense. I guess that's just me. We could have a really good team, and I just can't see it. But I just don't see how we're there. But we are a wild card team. We went 11-6. I want to see the numbers before we start simulating the playoffs. Davis Mills, not a good season. Under 4,000 yards, 11 interceptions, only 23 touchdowns. Guessing we relied heavily on the run, though, too. Yeah, Najee did have a very, very, very good season. Deontay Johnson, George Pickens. Yeah, poor Deontay Johnson just taking the back seat right now, but George Pickens putting the wide receiving core on his back right now. 95 catches, 1,300 yards, and 8 touchdowns is very good, very solid. And yeah, I mean, 91 overall with Morale, actually an 89 overall. Ratings, all of it is great. Spec catch has not gone up 1. That's a bit crazy. 89 short route, he's just been upgraded in the slot. That's what it is. His slot has just been upgraded to hell, as he has a 77 deep route as well. So he's developing, but not as an all-around receiver, just kind of as one type of receiver, and he's excelling in that role. So not a terrible thing, but let's go see what this Pittsburgh team can do in the playoffs. Go against an 8-9 Indy team, and we lose to them 13-7. High-powered offense couldn't do anything, and now we're a balanced 84 everything, 84 offense, defense, and just overall, of course. George Pickens still here, so is Davis Mills. Not that much of a relief, honestly. Oh my God, this guy! What is up with this drafting? They're so good at drafting. This guy's a superstar X Factor. Brought in Eddie Jackson, of course. Man, I mean, what do we even do with this team? Shoot, man, I don't know. This team's full of surprises for sure. This offensive line has gotten a lot better through time. This guy, Mason Cole, if I'm not mistaken his name, yeah, Mason Cole, definitely can upgrade on him though. Playing up to a 74 with +2 morale, so not that great of a center, honestly. And this guy not doing anything. But Davis Mills, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson looking to get to work here in season number 5 or 6, and we'll see if they can make another playoff run with just an 84 overall squad. I put my money on them. Not a bad season, but also not a great one. Went 8-9, not good, but like I said, it's also not horrendous. Davis Mills maybe his best year. 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, throwing 16 interceptions. Definitely could be fixed. Yeah, George Pickens. We haven't seen a season under 11 or under 1,000 yards in a while, but this is probably the lowest production we've seen since he had his first 1,300 yard season, I think it was. So, kind of not on a decline quite yet, but I'm not sure what's happening. Deontay Johnson definitely got some more yards as well. Was solid in his role that he played, and I want to see actually rushing. I want to see how much this other guy's been rushing the ball. Not great, and also not for many yards per carry, so I don't feel too bad about it. Then receiving, Pat's right here as well. I want to see, yeah, Ty Garfield is playing over the other guy. But, yeah, I guess that we can just keep it moving. Nothing much else to really say. All right, so this team looks a little different. We got freaking Mariah Carey at quarterback here. It's Mike Carey. I don't care. He has some throw power on him. Short and medium accuracies are insane. Under pressure could be a lot better. Throw on the run is going to be a little spotty for his first couple of years, considering that he might continue to start. But he has a weapon. He has a weapon in George Pickens, and hopefully he uses that weapon. Najee has been good throughout this time here. George Pickens needs to continue to be that guy. And I'm going to move this guy up just for it. I mean, I don't care. I really don't. Alex Highsmith up. They maintain TJ Watt somehow. And McKay is finally, playing. And then Clements here as well. So, a lot of interesting things going on. I'm going to put McKay in, test a theory I have. I think every cornerback 1 in this system goes up a depth trait if you give him enough time. So, I'm going to try that. I'm going to see if he goes up with a lot of interceptions. And we'll see what we can do at playoffs wise. And yeah, just like that, we make the playoffs, and Dameon Pierce is on the Patriots. I actually like that a lot. I don't know why, but I like that fit a lot. We'll see what Mr. Mariah Carey did on the season. Not 4,000 yards, but 31 touchdowns will do it. George Pickens was the top target for sure, almost hitting 1,500 yards. 12 touchdowns there is crazy. Very good stuff from our receiver, and I like what we have. These upcoming years should be pretty fun if George Pickens decides to stay around. That is a big if. We will go ahead and upgrade these players that are here. I'm guessing it's going to be, yeah, of course. Every time I click on it, it's going to be something horrible. It's going to be a player that doesn't even play, and then every time I don't click on it, it's going to be like every starter. Go ahead and advance the week, go week by week, see if we can beat this New England Patriot team, and we can't. Put up 21 points, but we just couldn't manage to keep them at bay, allowing 35 points, even though our defense is supposed to be pretty good. Oh well, so we're quite down bad in overalls, actually. We are an 80 overall team, 80 overall offense, 81 overall defense. We'll see what sort of it looks like. Yeah, no more George Pickens. Does not decide to come back, even though the rookie quarterback was going to put him on a good pace. But maybe just wanted to go to a team that's winning full, and we'll go see what team that is. And George Pickens is a Ram along with Traylon Burks and Damon Page. Amari Charles as well, and Ray Ebner. I mean, what does this team even look like? You have Friedman, and then you have Dalton Charles, and at quarterback you have Peter Rivers. Yeah, I mean this team looks very solid. Tyler Smith, oh wow, yeah, this team looks solid. This should be very interesting to see. I'm curious how old he is right now. 28. 28-year-old, 93 overall. Superstar development player will play on this Rams team, number 6. Still wearing all the sleeves and whatnot. Still rocking a little bit of that Steelers yellow. Not quite the same shade, but I mean, we'll see how he does at the playoffs. Obviously, I have to switch to it. So I will go ahead and just do that. So I actually got to click on the head coach for this team, and it ended up being Ian Alexander was the guy's name. If you guys don't know, my name is Ian. You kind of see it in the what should I call it? My channel name is Ian M. So that might give some clues up to it. But yeah, so they just knew what I'm doing here, and we'll see what George Pickens can do in his first year as a Ram. Sounds crazy, but at 28 years old, I think he can do something special. We'll see. So in our first season, we made wild card. At 11-6, we have home field advantage. We won the division. I like what we see. I like what we see in this first year here as whatever 5,000 yards from Peter Rivers. Expect something crazy for George Pickens, by the way. Oh, never mind. 1,400 yards is not overwhelming. But 16 touchdowns, maybe the best we've seen in his whole career. Yeah, I think there's just too much production from the wide receiver 2 spot to put George Pickens in the Cooper Kupp spot, like where he gets 1,800 yards or something crazy like that. But George Pickens, his first year as a Ram, maybe he's just hitting his prime. We never know. We'll never know. And we'll go ahead and sim through this Washington Commanders wild card matchup right here. And we end up winning that one, and we're against the 10-7 New York Giants, who are insane, by the way. Did you see their overalls? That is crazy. I think I saw an 88 in there. Yeah, 89 overall, 91 offense, 88 defense. Somehow still went 10-7. Holy, what does that team look like? Well, I'm not surprised we lost, right? We lost to the Jesus. And yeah, we're into our second season here, and we'll look at the team. George Pickens, I'm assuming. Yeah, here. And Superstar X Factor, by the way. Who is this guy? Oh, he's a running back. We'll just put him up real quick. I don't see why not. Oh, because he's starting at fullback. Okay, that makes sense. Traylon Burks is also a superstar. I must have missed that. I don't know if I did. I vaguely remember that. 29 years old, 93 overall. I say that this has been a very successful career sim, by the way. I want Slot Apprentice probably won't do anything. Probably give him Matchup Nightmare. And, I mean, Reach for it will help him with some extra yards. But if we can get mid-out elite, I guess, would be... Or I guess in the slot, you probably want mid-in elite, right? So we'll give him that right there. Then grab and smash. I don't like that at all. Give him yards after catch. Yak him up. So... I like that right there. I like this. I like what we're seeing from him. I do want to see his contract. I want to see what sort of contract he's on, how much he's getting paid. Stats and contracts. Yeah, 20 mil a year for the next. He has 3 years on his deal, 30, 31, and 32. Should be interesting to see how he kind of plays through all this. This 3 year span here with some competition and a good quarterback. We finished in probably the best division in football. It looks like 11-6, 13-4, and we finished 9-8. We get the short stick in the division. Peter Rivers, very impressive season. 5,100 yards, 42 touchdowns to 17 interceptions. Probably want to mellow that out a little bit. Marquez Stump. Fun name, but didn't do much. And then, yeah, 3 receivers over 1,000 yards, one of them being Damon Page, who's stepping up. Traylon Burks is, I mean, I guess playing well as well. But George Pickens, 110 catches, 1,300 yards, 81 per game. Had 13 receiving touchdowns, led the team. Defensively, what are the sack numbers looking like? Montel Burton doing well. Alani Webb. And then the TFLs are actually crazy. I started just as a sim. I'm dumb. I didn't even take a look at the team, what changed, what didn't change. Or wait, did we? I'm so confused. I'm out of it right now. My brain is at somewhere else. You guys must have been thinking, right? Is this boring? Yeah, it's very boring. Over time, it just gets more and more boring. But George Pickens at a 93 overall will take my head off of that. Very successful career simulation. I've only been recording for 50 minutes, anyways, so hasn't like been crazy. Jalen Ramsey's still here. I didn't even catch that, but offensively, yeah, George Pickens here with this guy. I think that they make a pretty good dynamic duo along with Traylon Burks, who's been a pretty good support role for the last while. And now we can go to the playoffs. Jesus. Okay, I want to talk about this real quick. 9-8, 9-8, 8-9, and then at the top, Seahawks were 12-5 in the division, right? But we have 150 million cap salary or salary cap. Why do I keep doing that? Cap salary. A salary cap. I need to get that down in my head. I keep messing up. I think every video I record, I always say like something really stupid that involves salary cap. Basically, 85 overall. We have an 89 overall offense. How about we boost our team up? If we have $150 million to spend and we're only going 9-8, we need to be better. Spend the money on the guys you need. And we'll try to put up. I didn't even check the numbers. No, wait. We're still in it. We're good. We're good. I'm sorry. I'm getting deteriorated right now. It's just bad. Peter Rivers threw for the second highest in the league for yards, 31 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. And George Pickens, not a bad season at all, 1,400 yards, 12 receiving touchdowns. Very good. Damon Page actually stepping up and playing well. How old is he? He's been in the league. He's 30 years old, 84 overall. Not great, I guess, but doing his job, I guess, in the support role that he plays. Traylon Burks also up to 1,000 yards. And then rushing, hopefully this season was better than last. It was not. No. Okay, well. Oh, well. What you going to do? George Pickens is here, but he is regressing. He was a 93 overall. Now he's down to a 92. It says 94, but with the morale, you have to count that in as well. We will go ahead and look at his stats and contracts. I thought his contract was up. But yeah, look at his stats, man. This is a crazy wide receiver career right here. 1,100, 1,500, 1,200, 1,300, 1,100, 1,400. Not one under 1,000 yards since his rookie season. Last 4 seasons, he's gone for over 10 touchdowns each and every one. He'd be my fantasy #1 overall pick, other than like a few guys. I mean, obviously that's still in the league. So he's on his last year of his deal, and maybe he decides to come back, but obviously, he's put together a very nice career so far. So I say that this one has been our first successful career simulation. We've had some that like flop. The guy only gets up to a 79 overall. What are you going to do about it, right? But obviously, George Pickens is a little different. He's showing us that what a good one looks like. And we'll try to make the playoffs in the last season of George Pickens being a Ram. Yet to win a Super Bowl, though. And we end the season 6-11. Not good, not good at all. Peter Rivers threw for 5,333 yards, 39 touchdowns. Could use a little bit more in the touchdown department. I'm just kidding. It was nice. Good season. And George Pickens took a massive step back. Still over 1,000 yards easily, but had the most, I guess, in the most touches on the team, most catches on the team. Still did not put up the production that you'd like him to. 13 receiving touchdowns still, though. he played well in his role, right? But I don't know what happened. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see if he stays with them or retires or whatever it is that he decides to do. But he's on to the next step of his career, whether it's not signing a new contract with the LA Rams and taking the back seat, or going to a new team, being the wide receiver one, and maybe a spark plug to that offense. And yes, George Pickens does stay here. He's up to a 93 overall again. So at 32, we don't see much signs of regression as he just keeps getting better. His deep route is finally getting some love. But look at that, 84 overall physical, 87 overall playmaker, 88 overall deep threat, and a 93 overall slot. Kind of gets a short route, medium route, catching traffic. Spec catch hasn't gone up one. Catching goes up. Obviously, it's a 99 right now with the morale. Change of direction, also nasty. So George Pickens, very successful. And I didn't even check his contract, his new contract. I'm hollow in the brain. Peter Rivers up to Superstar X Factor. I don't know if I saw that or not. I don't know why I keep going all the way down to Edit Player. Maybe just have it, but yeah. Worst season in probably a good 4 seasons. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 seasons. 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns, still pretty good, but not good enough. Contracts, he's on to a new 3-year deal. Still getting paid like 25 on average. Per year. So that's pretty good. We'll look at his awards here. Pro Bowl, 8 Pro Bowls, was a second round pick. And traits, don't need to know that. But yeah, career stats, I mean, everything other than that. I mean, just 8 Pro Bowls alone is good. Um, I wish that it showed you like all NFL selections, like all pro selections. If you're an all pro receiver, I'm sure he's been in that category a couple of times. But it just doesn't really show. My skin looks yellow. You see that? My skin literally looks dead with the green light in here. The mixture of light with the ring light I have up there, that doesn't really play a factor. And I have a LED like cloud thing that helps this. It like shows the smoke a lot better. So I thought that would be cool. And then yeah, I got it pretty festive in here. So if you guys are still watching at this point, hopefully you guys are enjoying the festivities. Um, we'll see what we can do here in the playoffs. How are we not in a spot to make playoffs? 8-9 we went. And then 49ers went 8-9. Seahawks went 10-7. Cardinals went 10-7. But we're 86 overall. 89 overall defense, 86 overall defense. I said defense twice. I know it. I heard it. On to next season. I'm curious if we're finally going to see some like serious regression from George Pickens, because he literally has not regressed. He's just been sitting at a 92 or 3 overall. And he still stays the same. 33 years old and still a Superstar X Factor with 92. With a 92 overall. So very tough stuff from him, and we'll see what he can do this season. I mean, I didn't even check to see what he did last season. I don't think I did. I was pretty idiotic last season, all right? Chris Stats, yeah, actually had one of the best seasons, if not the best season. No, this was his best season right here, his 3rd year in the league. Then, since then, he just all of a sudden sprung out of a hole. 114 receptions with 1,500 yards. 11 touchdowns. Very nice. I'm guessing he made another Pro Bowl. Yes. We actually finished 13-4. Number 1 seed in the league. And look at that. Peter Rivers. 5,200 yards. Very solid season. 38 touchdowns. Only 7 interceptions. Do like that. George Pickens, leading receiver for I don't even know how many years now. But 17 touchdowns. I think that's a career high. If it isn't, it's damn close. I mean, very solid season. George Pickens is not falling off. He keeps just putting up numbers, and I don't see him ending anytime soon. I mean, he's doing so good right now. This team got us last time. The Giants against the Rams, the rematch. Instead, we're better overall this time. The Giants aren't such a god squad, but we still lose to them, of course. 34-10, and we'll move on. George Pickens is finally regressing, down to a 90 overall. Isn't even that bad, but 34, he's got to give it up sometime, right? Ratings are still high up there. Speed is up to or down to a 90. I think it stayed at 90. His acceleration has actually gone up during his career. Yeah, a very, very good receiver. Very good player. Very good everything. Yeah, slot has regressed down 3 overall. So, yeah, I mean, finally we're seeing a little bit of aging from George Pickens. At 33, he was still carving up defenses, and at 34, he's starting to kind of fall off, but still a 92 overall and very dangerous. So we're going to see what they can do here. And it looked like Traylon Burks either goes somewhere else or retired, considering he had to be like way older than everybody else. We got in Greg Rousseau. We have this guy, this guy, this guy. Other than that, I mean, a very solid team actually. So They even look good for the future as well if they can keep this quarterback under. Oh God, I was gonna say under contract, but accidentally hit this, and we'll try to make the playoffs. I guess that's our goal for the year. We complete our goal, and look at Kenneth Walker, man, so inspirational. Upgrading our players now, but we went 11-6. We do not have home field advantage against our division opponent in the wild card in the NFC Conference playoffs. So kind of sucks. Somehow the 9-8 Texans made it. Peter Rivers threw for the first. He was first in the league in yards at 5,300 to 5,300, 5,326. Goddamn. I mean, yeah, he's still very solid. 40 touchdowns with 20 interceptions. So 20 interceptions is a lot. Receiving wise, George Pickens. Yeah, this is he gets older and he gets better, I guess. 104 receptions, 1,700 yards, 18 touchdowns. What the hell? This is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. George Pickens is, what, 34, nearly 35 in game. And I want to see his contract right now, actually. That would be what I'm curious about. But 1,700 yards is just crazy. Making his 10th Pro Bowl, 11th Pro Bowl, Offensive Player of the Year, and best wide receiver, and he might win that again. Season stats, no. Oh, yeah, let's look at the season stats, actually. Start off the season very slow, 64, 45, 55, and then 160, 115, 133, slowed down a little bit, 117, 151, 105, 104, 87, still very solid, 101, 116, and finished off the season with a bang. 11 catches, 179 yards, and a touchdown. That is just crazy. What does he do rushing the ball? Has he ever rushed the ball? I want to see his career stats on this. Rushing. I want to see rushing. Rushing yards. What's his career high in rushing yards? Looks like 33 would be that mark. And has a rushing touchdown right here, actually, too. That's crazy. Yeah, very solid. But 3 years. He has 3 more years. Oh my goodness gracious, this guy is not going to ever stop. I mean, he's been crazy. Go ahead and we'll advance the week, maybe win the wild card for the first time, and we lose. We just can't seem, we can seem to make the playoffs, right? But we can never seem to actually execute and win anything in the playoffs. So, we'll see how much George Pickens regresses despite the amazing season. 1,700 yards is so crazy. Yeah, I'm curious what sort of numbers he's going to put up next year as well. So the team's down to an 84 overall everything, offense, defense, and that is why there is no more George Pickens. And that's my guess, is that he has retired. Yeah, he would have had to retire. I'm going to try to see if we can find where that would happen. League history, maybe league transactions. I'm not sure. Let's look at league history and look at retirees if we can. No, but George Pickens was Offensive Player of the Year. So, I mean, obviously, very solid career that he had. We saw what he did. We saw what he can do. And so, I thought that was pretty crazy, seeing what he did. And let's look at retired and look at the NFC North. That's not right. That would be NFC West. But it also doesn't show because it wasn't this season. We're too far past that. So, does retire. We saw his stats. We saw what he did during his career. It is crazy. I will do one last look for him because maybe they traded him or whatever. But very unlikely. But I will do one last scan for him. But I'll let you guys know. Yeah, there is no George Pickens in here. But yeah, obviously went till he was 35 years old. Put up 1,700 yards in his last career season. I think that was his last career season if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, awesome stuff. We saw a very good, successful career simulation. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, if you watched all the way to now, I can't tell you how much it means to me that you guys watched till now. And if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. And yeah, that'll be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.